What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. Now with this video, we are jumping into Daredevil issue number 35. This will be bringing Lockdown, the story arc, to a close. Now, if you have been keeping up with Daredevil, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. I've been covering it since the King in Black event. And where we last left off, we had Typhoid Mary and Elektra currently filling in for Daredevil while he has been in prison. And they are going against Bullseye and all of his clones, trying to bring their mass murdering spree to an end. This is the conclusion to all of it. So with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 35, we are picking up with Typhoid Mary and Elektra. And Typhoid Mary coming in here, dropping down some explosive and blowing this place to smithereens. This is exactly what Elektra needed, being completely surrounded with clones all around them, with them having hostages. These explosions were the exact thing they needed to be able to get close and personal with these bullseyes, because that is the only way that you are going to be able to take them on. And with her size modified by Tony Stark, we see Elektra going in and start kicking some butt. With her getting the help of Typhoid Mary, the two of them are taking on all of these bullseyes. Now the two of them are moving as quickly and as smoothly as they can, because they both know with one slip up, with one wrong move, the bullseye is going to get you. With needle point accuracy, there is no room for mistake. There is no room for slipping up. Now, one of these clones, it whispers something in the ear of Typhoid Mary, saying that they know what she holds dear, that being Wilson Fisk, and that they have a little secret for her, that there is one more clone out there, and this is to get Typhoid Mary away from this fight, to draw her away. That way they can take on Elektra with all of them versus her. And in the midst of this fight, we see all of the clones, or at least 3 of them, run away. Now at this point, Elektra doesn't know anything of what's going on, not understanding what kind of tactics this is, what kind of plan they have set up. And with Typhoid Mary now being gone, she is left utterly confused on what to do next. So she goes and she chases after these clones. And that's what leads her to a theater. And on the outside, it says Psy Crimes, the story of 2 beautiful assassins. And as she looks at this, she realizes that Bullseye has just lost his mind. And as she walks inside, on the main stage, we see 2 individuals that are chained up, one dressed like Elektra, the other dressed like Bullseye. And standing next to them, we see Bullseye. Now this isn't the clone. This is the original. You can tell due to all of the scars that he has. And he lets us know that this is his newest production. This is the end of the line, telling her not to take one more step. And that is because 2 of the clones are planted somewhere inside the theater. And so one false move, and Elektra will die along with these hostages. And what Bullseye wants to do is reenact Elektra and Bullseye's greatest moments. Now she knows she needs to keep him talking, so she asks the question, what is going on with you? You have always been a psychopath, but you have never been off of your rocker. But he says that you can thank Daredevil for that. And that is because after their last encounter, he realized how he's been able to beat him all of these years. Daredevil has always had the upper hand. The world's greatest shot is always predictable. And so while all of the scientists at Ravencroft were whipping up his highly suggestible quote-unquote brothers, he had the shrinks do some work on his head. And so there is no way in predicting his thoughts, because his thoughts are absolutely sporadic. There is no rhythm, there is no pattern. An absolute and complete psychopath. Now, giving him enough time to have his dialogue, this gives her the opportunity to pull out her size. With Tony Stark using his technology to enhance them, he designed this tech for Matthew without knowing that he was blind. And with clinking them together, it has the ability for sonar, thermal, heartbeats, everything someone would need to be able to operate in the shadows, revealing the location of the two clones. She throws her size, hits both of them in the face, and this gives her the opportunity to go in on the real Bullseye. With only a matter of seconds, she has to get close. With Bullseye having his gun drawn on her, with him about to pull the trigger, we see the young actress on the stage hit Bullseye, throw his aim off, and gives her the opportunity to tackle Bullseye to the ground. And so to make it a fair fight, she plays to Bullseye's vanity. As he says that he is going to kill her, she taunts him, saying by who? By someone like you, or are you talking about the other clones? Now, not being able to help himself, he calls up to the clones and he tells them to kill one another. And them being highly suggestible, that's exactly what they do. They both gun each other down, leaving the real Bullseye to be the last one standing. And so that leaves one more Bullseye, or at least that's what Elektra thinks. Going and hunting down the real one, we pick up with Fisk, and he is currently on the phone with Izzy, our current kingpin. And really, more than anything, this is a phone call out of consideration because of their friendship, because of how long they have known one another. And what Fisk is really letting her know is that Butch may be someone that she trusts, but the dagger, it can come from any place at any time. And so as a professional courtesy, he is letting her know that she needs to watch her back from friends and foes alike. And while they are having this conversation, we see a Bullseye, the clone Bullseye, sneaking up on Fisk. Now picking back up with Elektra and Bullseye out in the middle of the road with a gun drawn, ready to have the last duel. No more hostages, no more scheming, no more games, just Elektra and Deadpool. But Bullseye knows that Elektra has taken up some kind of new motto, that motto being not killing. Saying that for someone like Elektra, that would be like a painter who simply doesn't paint. Wanting to draw her out, wanting to have a good old-fashioned gunfight. Even saying that Elektra can have the first shot. With her gun drawn on Bullseye, she could take the shot right here, right now. She could end all of this with the simple squeeze of a trigger. But she takes too long, and we see Bullseye take his shot. Taking his shot, we see it ricochet. She is able to block it, and she takes a shot of her own. This shot hits Bullseye right in his leg. He goes to turn his pistol on her to unload every single round that he has. But this is where we see the arrival of Daredevil. Matthew Murdock is back, and he comes and he just lays out Bullseye. And he tells him, this is done. This is over with. And Elektra stopping him, he turns to her and asks what she's doing, and simply she said, you needed help. And so here I am, carrying the mantle of Daredevil. And with Bullseye going down, we see police completely surrounding them all. Now Daredevil, he could run right here, but he's done running. He has absolutely nothing to run from. And the police, they want his hands in the hair, because right now, he is a wanted fugitive. With a barrel directly in the face of Daredevil, we see the arrival of some Avengers. With Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four all coming in, Iron Man has to ask, why are you trying to arrest Daredevil? Because you have your man, you have the fugitive known as Bullseye. And from all accounts, it looks like Daredevil has done way more help than anybody else has been able to. Not only did he bring down Bullseye and his mass murdering spree, he also handed evidence of a prison that was killing inmates. And so by all accounts, Daredevil is being hailed as the hero. Now the cop, he doesn't really want to hear this, saying that he is still a fugitive, that it does not matter. This is where Spider-Man steps into play and lets them know that you're not doing this. Daredevil just exposed killers in the system, helped capture a mass murderer, and that was what he did just today. Spider-Man asking them, like, what the heck have you done today? In all honesty, you want to arrest the guy that has just done your job for you. And so what we are seeing is that Matthew is finally free. He is no longer in prison. We are going to have our Daredevil back, Elektra has been so much fun, but it is about time that we get Matthew Murdock back into the fight. But this story isn't over yet. This is where we pick up with Fisk. Recognizing that there is a clone behind him, the clone goes in and stabs Fisk. With Typhoid Mary coming and running into the room, she impales this clone with both swords and throws it out the window. She goes falling along with him, only for Fisk to grab hold of her, swing her in, and ask her to marry him. And that is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I've been saying since I started this line, I absolutely have been loving Daredevil. It has been such a fun and awesome, well-written, well-drawn, well-colored line. And I really have enjoyed Elektra as Daredevil. It has been very interesting, it's been really exciting, but I am ready to see Matthew back at it. Ready to see him as Daredevil, seeing him take on everything that he needs to take on. And we have also seen a great character arc for Typhoid Mary, really seeing her come into her own, seeing the relationship between both her and Fisk really blossom, and see that Fisk, well, for all of these years, he's been this really hard, this really bad dude, that there is another side to him. That there is a side that cares about somebody, even if that is one single person, being Mary herself. We see that he has found himself actually caring for someone, actually worrying about their safety. And so we're seeing some great character arcs all the way through this story. Be it Elektra, be it Matthew, be it Fisk, or Typhoid Mary. This current story arc has been absolutely phenomenal. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.